Hey guys, so today I'm starting kind of a new series. For people who have followed this channel for a while, this has like kind of been a strange channel. It started as like a WordPress channel like a long time ago, and then sort of moved because I've been in internet marketing and like WordPress and coding all stuff for like since like 2010 maybe, since I was like 18 or something like that. And so anyway, I kind of wanted to start some new videos. I've been thinking a lot recently. I do a lot of networking and talking with a lot of people in the industry, young, old, boys, girls, doesn't really matter. And I come across a lot of people who post similar issues or they have similar issues, not necessarily related to it. It's about affiliate marketing, but a lot of it is just like general mindset and life choices and stuff like that as well. And I end up having a lot of these deep conversations with these people, just kind of randomly going over stuff for them. And like I said, a lot of them are young people. They're trying, like, when I say young, I say like 18 to 25. They're like thinking of what they want to do with their future and all this stuff. And so anyway, I wanted to make this video today specifically about, or this audio, because most of these are going to be audios, about comparison. Comparison is an interesting thing that I come across many times dealing with a lot of these people. And a lot of these, by the way, audios are going to be one shot through off the cuff. If I make mistakes or whatever, I'm just going to be left in. Everything's just going to be like raw, like how I feel and how I get things out there. Um, Anyway, back to the point. A lot of people I deal with on a daily basis, particularly with internet, but I think this applies more broadly, but let's just keep it in the spectrum of internet so that I don't go too broad with it, is about comparing their success or what they deem their success across the way to others. I notice so many people doing that, particularly in the younger generation of people, but it's not like the older people are immune from it. But you notice people in these calls and stuff like that saying things like, "Oh, well, this guy over here is making, they're making 500 grand a month on what they're doing and blah, blah, blah." And they're looking at their own stuff and they're thinking like, well, somehow this makes me a failure, right? Like I look at what I'm earning. Let's say I'm earning zero, right? Let's say that I'm earning zero. Well, everything to me then is an uphill climb, or everything to me is, it appears like somebody else is doing much better, right? Because in their scenario, you see them making all this money, they're posting all these pictures, everything looks like it's just going gangbusters for them, right? And the reality of the situation that I've come to learn over my life dealing with 99% of situations is that, like he says in Hitch, right? 90% of the mass is below the surface. No, that's not him talking about you being fat, like he says in the movie. That's him basically saying, like, a lot of people's lives, especially the way we are now, a lot of their lives are built up to look a specific way, particularly in a social media context or like in a context to other people. That is, I want to be perceived as successful rather than I want to be perceived as non-successful. And of course, to other humans, that makes a lot of sense, right? You want people to see you as successful and all that. And so you kind of fall into this trap of trying to chase down the images that you see. It's sort of like a monkey see, monkey do scenario where you see other people doing things and you think you have to do the same exact things or you have to appear in the same exact light. This is something that has never really been an issue for me. And so I've been able to help other people a lot with the mindset of kind of escaping that, right? Like you don't need to be that way. There's no reason, and I'm going to explain some more reasons why. A lot of people just give a basic answer, like "Don't worry about it," but I'd like to go a little bit deeper for people because I've done this a lot. I've had this conversation with many people on the internet so far through Google Meets and stuff like that. Just friendly conversation, and what I've come to learn in my life is that the measuring stick for success for one person could be complete failure or extreme success to another person. Okay, so meaning, let me give you an example. When I graduated high school, I moved from the state of Oregon to California, and in the state of California, they want your transcripts, meaning like what you've done for your credits for middle school, for high school, and all that stuff. And I was homeschooled in Oregon, so when I got to California in 10th grade, I had no history of what I had ever completed, math, writing, studies, whatever. And the state of California basically said, well, you can't graduate unless those credits are checked off. And to me, that was a little bit worrying because I didn't have any of that. So basically, the teacher said you have to make this all up in the next 2 years to graduate by your senior year. So it means I had to make up 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th by 12th in order to graduate. So I had to make up like 5, 6 years of school in 2 years and do those 2 years as well to graduate by time. Long story short, I ended up powering through it, even though at first I was going to quit and just get my GED because I was like, this is an insurmountable mountain. I eventually just decided to buckle down and do it. I took on extreme amounts of homework and workloads in order to make it work. And I was able to come out with I think I was third highest GPA in the county. This was in Lake Tahoe. I was like third highest in El Dorado or something like that. And here's the thing: is when that happened, my parents, they didn't. I mean, to say they didn't care is kind of a cruel understatement. You know, it's kind of an overstatement, I guess. But they didn't really care, right? Like to them, it wasn't really that impressive of a thing. It was like, yeah, whatever, we're on to the next thing, because they were already focused on other things, business and stuff like that. So to them, it didn't really matter. And to me, it didn't matter either, right? Like I just took the paper that said like your third highest GPA in the county. I basically just crumpled that shit up and threw it in a box. Like I didn't really care, right? To me, it was just high school, getting through it, getting past it. But the point of that whole little like side story is this. To some families, graduating third highest in your county is like cause for celebration. You get a new car, you whatever it is, right? Like your parents can't believe it. Like they throw you a fucking like massive celebration and birthday, right? And the biggest issue with my situation was it's not that nobody cares, it's just that, like I said, to us, that wasn't necessarily a measuring stick for massive success. Okay? Also, sorry about cussing on here. I'm deciding whether I want to do that or not still, since this is fresh. I probably won't, actually, so that more people can listen to it like broader, you know? But anyway, so that was like not a massive success, right? So it wasn't failure, but it wasn't considered a massive success compared to somebody else that would. Now I want you to take that and I want you to apply it outwardly to everything else that you see. So like, for example, let's talk about internet marketing. A lot of people come into internet marketing and they say the following: if I could just make 100 a day. A lot of people use that as their core measuring stick for some reason. I don't know why. It's like an affiliate mindset. They work in ones and zeros. They just do it consistently for some reason. They never think beyond that. So like, if I could make 100, if I could make 1,000, if I could make 10,000, for some reason it's always a 1 followed by a sequence of zeros. It's never a weird number. Like if I could make 4451, I'd be great. But anyway, so and I'm going to keep these videos around 10 minutes. I'm going to try to keep them short. But here's the point I'm making, is that for you to compare your life to anybody else's life in any way, shape, or form as success or failure is such a mistake to you. Okay? It's such a mistake for your mentality and your mindset that you look at someone else and you think because they've accomplished X, I am a failure. Or I somehow am not doing well enough. I'm not doing good enough. What you have to do, and what I ended up doing, was only comparing things that I wanted to accomplish against my previous self. So, for example, when I told myself I wanted to have successful campaigns in internet, I didn't care that other people could make $10,000 a day. I didn't care they could make $500,000 a day. I didn't care what anybody else could make. All I cared was that I hit the goal I wanted and I was happy with that goal. And I don't need to be the richest guy in the room. I've said this multiple times. I don't care about that. I really don't. A lot of the cool thing about life is that it's very broad and big and that everybody wants different things. Not everybody wants all of the same things. That's why comparing yourself against someone else is such a mistake. And also, once again, you're comparing yourself against the perceived image of someone else. They are ejecting or creating an image for you to see, and you are then comparing your actual life against that person's image. And even if that's the real person, well, then just be happy for them. Don't be, jealous and all that stuff because somebody else is successful. There's multiple ways to get to success, and the world is big enough that more than one person can be successful and everything's fine. So the whole point of this like little audio to start, and I'm going to make a bunch of these, by the way. The whole point of this audio to begin is comparison. And I think Shakespeare's the one that's quoted this too, but I don't think it was him, that comparison is the joy of thief. Or the thief of joy, the joy of thief. It's the thief of joy, meaning like you won't look at your life in a joyous way if you think that constantly you're comparing yourself like a yardstick to everyone around you and your success versus their success. If you start an affiliate campaign and your goal is to hit 100 a day, be proud that you hit 100 a day, and if people ask you, be honest. Don't be afraid to tell people. This is something also that separates you from the pack and has helped separate me from the pack. I'm not afraid to tell people the actual truth about my situation because I don't really care if I'm being compared against or not. And something that Nightingale said, Earl Nightingale, that I will reference a lot in these audios that I'm going to make, has said that many other people have a plot of grass, right? Like you have a plot of grass and they have a plot of grass. And if you're looking over their fence saying, wow, look at that plot of grass. What an amazing plot of grass they have. It's so green and so lush. And I wish I could just jump over this fence and have their grass. You also have a plot of grass too. And while you're looking over that fence at the other side, other people are looking over the fence at your grass thinking your grass looks greener than theirs. And you may say to yourself, that's not true. My life is terrible. Or maybe whatever you say about your own life that's narcissistic and self-defeated. At the end of the day, your grass is still green as well. And if it's not, maybe you're just not taking care of your own grass as well as your neighbor is. And it's easy for you to turn around and start taking care of your own grass and have your own green plot. And eventually people are going to look over the fence at yours and compare it against theirs. So what you need to do is just tune out every other plot of grass around you and focus on watering your own grass and getting your own yard to green. Don't worry about looking over other people's fences for how big a plot they have or other people looking over at yours. Just focus on your own plot and stop worrying about what other people are accomplishing and doing. Don't look at social media posts about people traveling or cars or watches or dinners or anything and feel less than because you're somehow not doing that. The best thing you could ever do for yourself is stop comparing your life against anyone else's, because there is no apples to apples scenario with anybody in the world. Everybody's life is different. How they were raised, what they've done, their level of education, their personal situations to their relationships and their families and all that stuff. Everybody's life is absolutely unique and lived differently. And so to compare, to say, well, because they're doing X and I'm doing X, that means that I'm not doing as well or I'm doing something wrong, is a humongous error in mental judgment. And I would say that your personal mantra should really be focus on your own plot. Don't worry about what anybody else has going. And if you do see what somebody else has going and they're accomplishing something really big, just be happy for that person and cheerlead them along. Don't feel jealous or angry because they have made it further down the road. Maybe they spent more time. Maybe they had better connections, whatever. But you're able to build those things for yourself too with enough time and effort. So that's kind of the message here. I'm going to make more of these, probably a couple a week, because I want to be able to send these to people who ask me the same questions, because I get a lot of these questions a lot from people that I like hang around and stuff. So I don't know why they ask me, but this is kind of me just getting started down that road. So anyway, okay, well, thanks for anybody who listened. I'm sorry that it's being posted on this kind of like catch-all channel that I have, which is just my personal channel. I'm going to post it on my blog too. And once again, feel free to comment and all that stuff, and I'll respond how I do. And the next ones are going to focus on all kinds of things. I don't know where these series are going to go, but I know that I'm going to make a lot of them. So anyway, once again, thank you guys, and I'll talk to you later.